Welcome to India Talks. India Talks is brought to you by IndoIndians.com, the Indian portal for Indonesia, and by QTV, the channel for decision makers. India Talks features newsmakers and inspiring leaders who've made an impact in Indonesia. Indonesia has a large expatriate and ethnic Indian population and has enjoyed soft links, that is exchange in trade and in culture over the last 2000 years. And today we have with us the new Ambassador of India to Indonesia here with us, Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Nanda.
Yes, Poonam, nice to be here today.
Welcome to this show. You have said in one of the statements in Jakarta Post that I read that India is and Indonesia are at an unprecedented, splendid phase of relations between the two countries. So we would love to know more about that, and also in the current scenario where change is the buzzword, where everything is changing. Look at the financial markets, look at how people are behaving around the world with that threat staring at them in their face with the new American president. What does this behold for India and Indonesia?
Well, Poonam, as you are aware, India and Indonesia have enjoyed 2 millennia of contacts in trade and culture.
Right.
And that is manifestly evident in the contemporary cultures of the two countries. During our period of freedom struggle, our leaders, President Sukarno, Prime Minister Nehru, collaborated closely. They were not only concerned about the freedom struggle in their own countries, but also concerned about all oppressed people all over the world. And in the recent period, we have had a number of high-level exchanges with Indonesia. President Yudhoyono paid a state visit to India in 2005, and there was a historic joint declaration on establishing a new strategic partnership, which was really a commitment to carry our relations together forward in all areas to a new level. And that is what we are trying to do. And of course, in the contemporary period, we are all concerned about the global downturn.
Yeah.
And I think we are all engaging ourselves in trying to stabilize our domestic economies. India has taken a number of steps. Indonesia also, the government has taken a number of steps. And global leaders are also coming forth with proposals on how to recover from this situation, how to prevent it from happening together again. And we have made some suggestions, the Indonesian government has also made some suggestions, and the leaders will be getting together at the G20 meeting on November 15 in Washington.
So all the major heads of state will be in Washington to discuss this issue?
Yes.
With the change in Indonesia, do you think there is going to be a major change in the trade between India and Indonesia?
Our trade relations have been progressing very well. Last year, our bilateral trade was $6.5 billion. We expect during the current year it will be in the region of $7 to $8 billion. Certainly there will be an effect on trade on account of the global economic situation, but we expect our trade to continue progressing very well. And we have a target of 10 billion in bilateral trade for 2010.
So that's almost double than what it is at present.
Well, yes.
Mr. Nanda, you are also the envoy to Timor-Leste. What does that entail? Have you been to Timor-Leste?
Yes, I was there recently to present credentials to the President of Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste is a newly independent country. India also attained independence a little over 60 years ago, and we are keenly conscious of the difficulties any new country has in developing forward, in uplifting its people, in putting together the institutional framework for progressing in the modern world. And we are committed to assisting Timor-Leste through capacity building and through meeting their needs to the extent that we can in the spirit of South-South cooperation.
Is there a presence of Indians in Timor-Leste? Are there Indians there? Is there any trade or cultural links with Timor-Leste?
Yes. Yes, there is a presence. There are a few Indians, maybe 150 odd Indians, including members of family there. Many of them are engaged in the UN mission.
I see.
There. There is an Indian company, Reliance Petroleum, which is prospecting for oil in an offshore block in Timor-Leste's economic zone.
Right. In Indonesia, you've been here only a few months now. What is your impression of Indonesia?
Well, I have found that Indonesian people are very friendly, and Indonesian government has an extremely positive attitude towards improving relations with India, to developing relations with India. There is a lot of interest in interacting between parliamentarians in Indonesia, parliamentarians in India. The reasons are not difficult to see. As you mentioned, firstly, there is this large, long history of cultural and commercial contacts between the two countries. Second, we are both democracies.
Yeah.
We are both pluralistic countries. We share many things in common: vast geographical expanse, the challenges of development, realizing the aspirations of our people within a democratic framework. So there is a lot to learn from each other's experience and best practices.
Right.
And that is what is driving the relationship forward.
We also have the elections upcoming in both these countries, India and Indonesia. So is there some exchange of ideas, of best practices as far as elections are going?
Yes. We have a joint commission which is co-chaired by the foreign ministers of the two countries. And one of the items on the agenda of the joint commission is exchanges between the election commissions of the two countries.
I see. So we are trying to learn from each other's experience.
Yes, definitely.
Together we are the largest democratic population in the world.
Exactly, and we have much to learn from each other's experience of trying to push forward economic development, realizing the aspirations of our people within this democratic framework.
It's really an honor to have you here, because this gives us an opportunity to understand more about trade, how we can benefit between the two populations, and we will come back to this major question right after the break. So please stay with us.
Thank you.
So viewers, we'll come back to you right after this very short break and talk more about bilateral trades between India and Indonesia. So keep watching.